What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to this video. This is going to be, for the most part, what I'm going to be throwing for the 2023 season. There may be some changes in and out, especially right now, as it is winter in Ohio, and any disc that I had that is slightly white or could possibly get lost in the snow, I've taken out of my bag. So some of these might change. For the most part, this is going to be my lineup for the foreseeable future. I do have a tournament on the 29th that I'm getting ready for. I only have 5 so far this year, as I have a child on the way, and my son's probably going to take up a lot of my I won't even say touring, but my traveling tournament time, which is what I normally do. This tournament on the 29th is 45 minutes away, roughly an hour away. We're going to get into this bag, though. So first off, we have the Tilt utility disc. Doesn't come out very often. It does actually come out in Willow, so in the tournament I'm playing on the 29th, there are 2 holes. I will probably be throwing this. They're 200 feet, but they are so far left that I have to throw a turnover through past a tree and then just get it as left as possible. So this one does come out occasionally, but not unless I have to. Still really like this disc. This is my fun throw around disc just to try stupid shots with. Stupid scramble shots. These are what I'm putting with. I've got my Wardens. I have ones that I like better. They're the same Wardens, but they're just a different color. They have the hand-eye stamp on them. Again, it being winter, I took them out of my bag because once you get them down in the snow, you can't find them. So I got some discs that I know if it does snow or whatnot, I can find them. I'll probably be replacing these with those because these are my practice putters. These are beat up really bad with my other ones. Another disc that's not really a throw disc. It is, but it's not so much. I don't really have a shot on the course to throw it. But this is a glitch. This is to test me. This is something I'm working on. I have a natural flip up when I throw. So even if I throw hyzer, at the end of it, with how I release, it comes off my fingers and pops up. I don't exactly want that every time. And so this disc is helping me learn how to throw hyzer, how to throw flat, because if I'm throwing flat, if it comes off my hand and I, tip the nose down a little bit like I like to do, like this, and I turn it over, it's not coming back. So this is something that I'm working on with this disc. I need to start playing more rounds with just this disc, just to learn off-axis torque and things like that, but definitely something I'm keeping in my bag right now to help me learn. Next, we have a Mojo disc. This disc right here. We'll never throw this disc. Never have thrown this disc. It's a harp. It is just a Mojo disc for me when I'm having a hard round. I look at this. I do have a mini of this exact picture. I don't know where that mini is right now. Probably in my car. It's a mini that I keep close to me at all times. I probably just took it out of my pocket one time. I know it's probably in my car. But I keep this disc with me anyway. Love this picture. Set. On to my putters. For my stable shots, I have a Tactic. Really like this disc. I had a Slammer. Hard to find replacements for. Plus, again, color-wise, I'm throwing with the Tactic. Really getting the feel of this disc. I have a Zone in my bag, but this disc I have a lot more touch with. I don't exactly know why. I know they're almost the same exact disc, but this one I get more touch with. So I have this in my bag. Next we have my overstable discs, my putter, or my Sky God, and my Agent. Kind of the same disc, except for when it gets cold and when it gets wet, I lose grip on this one, and so I had an Agent, kind of the same disc, Same flight, or at least it flies really similar. So these are basically my overstables. My cats are getting, I wish I could show you guys my cats are in a box right now. Okay. Alright. Nomad. Kind of the mid stability. This is one that it won't if I turn it over, it won't come back, but it'll flatten out and ride. So I can get it to turn, pop up, and ride wherever I need it. In fact, I almost aced with this one earlier today. I almost aced with this one and one of the other ones in here that I'll pull out here in a second. But this is my Nomad, like this disc. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say because I love this disc. I throw it. I have like 9 Nomads. I really, really enjoy the Nomad feel. Next, my Flippy Boys, my EMAC Judges. This is the one that I almost aced with earlier today with the Nomad. I was practicing a hole, threw a turnover. These do not come back if I turn these over. They're great flyers for flat and straight and turnovers. In fact, flat, this one aced one of my local holes yesterday. First ace of the year. Was not my first throw. I was working on some form things on a little short 190-foot basket and was practicing. Ended up going in, but these are my flippy ones. This one's really flippy. This one's 2 years old. Also, shout out Fort Wayne Disc Golf, Fort Club. Love you guys. We'll be out at your tournament later this year. I can't wait. So, but these are my flippy putters. EMAC Judges. Chef's kiss. On to the big portion of my bag. Mid-ranges. I carry a lot. Really, really flippy disc of Warrant. Nothing really to say about this disc except for I release it on hyzer, it'll pop up flat and ride over it. Great weapon to have. I have a forehand, but sometimes I'm not feeling my forehand, and so I just grab this and throw it. It's really, really flippy right now. It's really touchy, but it's a good disc that I need to have in my bag, so I have it. MD1 Mindbender for kind of my mid stability. We'll pull both these out actually. So I have a Chris Dickerson Buzz and a Mindbender. From the thought of it, definitely this is less stable than this one is. But these are my straight flying discs. I really like the MD1 Mindbender. I bought it because I'm a huge Simon fan, and then threw it and fell in love with it. I only have one. Never want to lose this disc, but I really, really like this disc. It's a very, very release it on hyzer, pop up, might pop over a little bit, but it just rides whatever angle I put it on for the most part, and so it's in my bag. This one is just a little bit more stability, or a little step up, a little bit more stability, but same deal. I can throw it on hyzer. It'll pop up, ride over, and come back. The bite on this is just a little bit bigger than the MD1. And I really like buzzes, so obviously gotta have a buzz in the bag. Now on to my last two real quote-unquote mid-ranges. I have a Verdict and a Malta. These are interchangeable for me, except for I don't really like to forehand this one. The lid on this right here just doesn't feel comfortable with me. So I have a Verdict, which is a little less profile, or a little easier profile. So this one I forehand, this one I backhand mostly. I can forehand this one, but going full power, I don't feel comfortable with it. And so I have this one to throw. This one, I actually am looking for a different color. I have one. I just realized that I didn't put it in the bag. So this one, I will be changing the color of this one, but I really enjoyed this Verdict. In fact, I love it. On to I really I call them overstable. My overstable approach disc, I have a Justice in the zone. Same thing, except for I can get a little bit more distance with this one. This one will go flatter, or this one will go flatter, longer than this one. Ever since I had the Tactic in the bag, I don't use these as much. The reason I still bag these is the Tactic, after about 180 feet of power, it gets really flippy. Or my release is bad and it just turns over. So I have these from 180 to 220 roughly. 230, I could probably push to 230. 220, 230. Just kind of as a backup for that Tactic. If I feel like that Tactic, I'm turning everything over, grabbing these that have a little bit more stability, and I really like both these discs. So onto my fairway drivers. 2 Mavericks, really flippy, really straight. This one's beginning flippy, which is what I want. I do have a Kona Maverick that I haven't tried yet, that may be replacing this one. Not for any other reason, but it has Kona's name on it, and I like to support the pros. So I might be putting a Kona Maverick in my bag. I have not thrown it yet, though. This one for sure is staying. This thing's flippy. This thing I throw it up on hyzer. It will turn over. I can get it to come back, but that's really hard for me to do. So I have my really flippy fairways. This one I have to force over a little bit, but again, it will just keep going. So I have 3 evaders. I have, this is my quote-unquote flippy one. This is the most beat up one, I should say. This one's really beat up. It does still come back, so it's not a turnover and burn over. It will turn over more than these other two will, but it will come back at the end. In fact, there's a few holes on this willow course. I'll be throwing this. It's probably my favorite I throw, at least most comfortable. Next we have my Ricky evader, which was my most stable evader for a while. This one, I beat it up a little bit. I can actually flip this one up, and I very much enjoy this disc, actually. Shout out Ricky, thank you for these evaders. I didn't really like the dominess of these, but after throwing them for a while, yeah, I really like my Ricky evaders. And then we have a weird one. I don't remember where. I think I got this one in Chicago. In fact, I know I got this one in Chicago. Off of a trade. And this is an evader. This thing looks like it got beat up. This thing is still really stable. It is an evader. It's a very flat top though, and it is stable. I mean, I could forehand this one. I don't like forehanding evaders because they have the dome. This one, I could forehand. I don't because I have other discs for that role, but this is a really stable evader, and I really enjoy throwing it when I know I need to get right. I can throw this on turnover, and I know at the end it's coming right. Pretty much for forehand, I have getaways and I have a felon. These are almost only forehand. I will backhand this one occasionally. I don't generally backhand this one. I have before. I do like a felon. I can backhand a felon, but I don't generally need this much stability, as I have a noodle arm. So this one I only get about 240, 250, 270 maybe if I really push it. And that's if I have like almost a turnover angle. So I don't really generally need this much beef. But if I do, I pull it out. This is pretty much the most stable disc that I have for backhand. This one I'll pull out before I will pull out that felon. This one I can actually get to pop up and ride, or at least not just dump. It will kind of pop up and ride that hyzer. This Mason Ford one a lot more stable than any of the other Getaways I have, which is why I have it in my bag, because I wanted that stability. I really like my other Getaways, but this Mason Ford one, I really enjoy. I can throw a backhand, forehand. Forehand more so than anything. I like that it's got enough stability, like hole 23 where I played today. I threw it like this because it was way left. It pops up a little bit and just keeps going. So, Mason Ford Getaway, very much enjoy. Need to get me another one. On to my fairway drivers. Here on to my distance drivers. I don't need many distance drivers for the courses I'm playing right now. There's 2 holes that I throw distance drivers on. Still keeping what I have in my bag. And that is, I bag 4 different Hades. They're all a little bit of different stability. This is definitely my flippiest one. This is my newest one. But it's my flippiest one because it's got a chunk out of it already. Also, the Protos are a little bit, I believe, are a little less stable than the stock stamps. So this is my roller disc and turnover distance driver. Yeah, I don't really have anything to say about it. It's a Hades. I love Hades. I own so many of them. But I really, really enjoy the Hades. So then we have bump and stability. We have this blue one. It's been beat up, but for some reason it's kept its stability. But I really enjoy throwing this one. This one I pop up, it'll roll over, but it will come back at the end. Then I have this one, which is one I kind of put in to replace this one, but it hasn't gotten there yet. It's not as understable as I'd like yet. But it's close. So I have this pink one. And then I initially bagged this just because I like the stamp. And I have a lot of Hades, so I figured I'd bag it. But it's becoming one of my favorite throwers. This is an overstable Hades. I know, overstable and Hades don't really go together, but this is, in my mind, a pretty overstable Hades. I like it. It's very workable, and I can do a lot of things with it, and so it stayed in my bag. I first, like I said, brought it just to throw it, just because it looked cool, and then I threw my other Hades, never really threw it, started throwing this one, and I do not regret putting this in my bag. So now, it doesn't get used as much as my other ones, but definitely if there's a wind, I'm grabbing this one as it's a little bit more stable. On to my last few distance drivers. I bagged 2 Graces. This does not fly like a Grace really anymore. It's really flippy for a Grace. It's been beat up, but it's trustworthy. It's a disc that if I ever lose, I'm going to be sad because I'll have to beat up my Graces to be this, and that's going to be difficult to do. I have a few, so I know I can, but I don't have any backups of this exact flight. And then I have my little more overstable Kristen Tatar Grace. I love this one. I don't throw this one very often because I love the stamp so much. I need to get over that, I know, but it's a little bit more domey than my Graces are, and I just really enjoy this disc. I don't throw this one very often. Like I said, I throw this one, but yeah, I will never throw this one over water because look how pretty that stamp is. I'd rather lose this one. And my 2 overstable distance drivers, a Raider and a Rive, kind of the same deal. The difference being is this has dome, and I didn't really like it on forehands. As I felt like the dome, I couldn't get comfortable with it. And so I put this in my bag for forehands. The funny thing now is since I beat this up a little bit, the dome has kind of gone in a little bit. And I can throw this one for forehands. But for the most part, I'm throwing this Rive for forehands. I really like this drive in particular. It's pretty flat. It's got a nice parting line. It's got a nice kind of like little dome for parting lines, so I can put my hand there. Get a really clean release. These are really overstable. And I thoroughly enjoy throwing both of these. But these are my overstable discs. And if these flip over, I'm I'm in wind. It doesn't matter what I do. But yeah, these aren't my furthest flying discs. My Hades are my furthest flying discs. But these are my wind fighters. And that's pretty much it, guys. That is my bag for the 2023 season. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any guys questions of disc choice, or you have any ideas of what I could change some of my bag with, please let me know. Alright, guys. Always go for your goals no matter what. As I used to always say, right? Consistency is key. Peace.